Trade recap, January 16th. It's National Appreciated Dragon Day, so I guess take your favorite dragon and appreciate it. I took 4 positions today, and honestly, I technically overtraded, but the way things went is I took 2 positions that I should not have taken. They were going against the overall trend, which was wrong. I should not have taken those trades. And then I took a 4th position when I was already down. It was a setup I really, really liked. It was a redemption trade. I wouldn't say it's a revenge trade. It's a redemption trade. And it ended up playing out. But I mean, of course, if that trade did end up hitting my stop, I would have been okay with those losses. So I wasn't going over my risk limit. But today could have been a whole lot better if I just stuck to playing alongside the trend, which is very important. It's the reason why I've been taking short after short after short for the past 2 weeks. Any long that I have taken has lost. I have won my trades. Any of my winning trades were off shorts. And I've taken 3% of my last trades that I've taken across the past 2 weeks were longs. 3% of them were longs, the rest were shorts. So shorts have been killing it in the market. And I should have just kept up with that. But coming into the market open happened during this 9 a.m. candle. And I marked out these lows and these highs. I also marked out these, but I never even used those. Jumped down to the 1 minute like usual. And there was also a hourly fair value gap or imbalance. I never ended up using that, so I don't have it marked out right now because it's, just in the way. But the first position that I took was this trade. We dipped into it and we rejected out. I think I entered I set a limit order here. I think I had my stop at this low. And then this position, early on in this position, I closed out around break even because I knew that this wasn't a very good trade. I should not be taking this trade. My long bias wasn't feasible. We most likely were not going to go up based on the confluences that I have charted. And I decided to close this one early. But then, after I closed it early, we saw a pump up above this previous demand zone. And I decided that, maybe I was totally wrong. Maybe loans are the move. When in reality, if we look at the 4-hour, we are definitely in a downtrend right now. So, what did I do? I stuck to my rules, didn't take a long. No, I took a long right here. We came out of this zone and then came right back down, had a limit order set here, stopped out right away, like usual. I was going to target the same. I was going to basically just target the same area or price range that I would have targeted in this first position. Because I was thinking now that we got this push up, it might work. Spoiler alert, it did not work. Let's see. I also, actually before this, this was actually my 3rd trade. My 2nd trade was taking shorts off of this zone. I was thinking, I'm going to stick with the short bias based on the trend. Took a trade here. Unfortunately, got stopped out. I'm not mad about this position. It wasn't a bad position. This should have been the only loss that I took today, though. But I took this one, and then I'm like, we shot up. We're definitely looking long now. Nope. We were not. Should not have taken that. Should have stuck to the short trend, which is what I did do in my redemption trade. I wasn't going to trade again today, but I saw a setup that I really liked, and I decided to take shorts off of this supply zone here. And I set my stop here, set my TP here at around 55 points. And the trade worked out very well. As the trade moved on, because I was already down enough, I just decided to move my stop loss to around 9-8 points at the wick of that candle. But the trade ended up working out, thankfully. And that put me up on the day. Thankfully, I'm up pretty good on the week so far. Hopefully tomorrow is not going to be absolutely horrible. But today and yesterday were definitely my 2 worst trading days of the week. And honestly, my 2 worst trading days of the month. Not P&L wise, but emotional trading wise. It just wasn't good. I just made some poor decisions. I was freaking out. My eyes were glued to the screen during every position. I couldn't look away. And those aren't habits that you want to build. When you're trading, you want to understand that even if this trade loses, you will still be fine. And if that is not the case, then you need to fix your risk to reward. But you need to build the constitution to be able to, look away from your screen when you place an order. You don't need to eyes glued to the screen. You never should feel the urge to close it out early. The only reason I closed out the first trade early was because I realized around break even that it was a poor position. And so I closed it out early. If you had never taken that poor position, if you never take those poor positions, you won't ever really have a reason to close it early. The only closing early, technically, that I ever should be doing is moving my TP to a different zone because we're starting to see rejection to the other side of my position. But yeah, overall today, I really just should have stuck to the trend. Another thing that I want to talk about is a problem that I've been having, especially today and yesterday. I've been placing way too much weight on each individual trade. When in the grand scheme of things, each individual trade means hardly anything to the collective trades as a whole that I take throughout my trading month or week or even day. When you put too much emphasis on each singular trade, that leads to poor decisions because you become very, very emotional. But you want to understand that each individual trade doesn't matter. If I take a trade and it gets stopped out, oh well, I could be mad about it, but I shouldn't take that emotion into my trading for the next positions that I take. It's okay to, feel those emotions, but it's about having the emotional control to not let those emotions show as you're trading. And letting those emotions show as you're trading come in the form of keeping your mouse on the exit button to possibly close early, constantly moving your TP or stop loss, constantly taking trades, taking a trade opposite of the trade you just lost, even though there may not be any real confluence for that trade. There are many, many, many ways that your emotions can get in the way of your trading. And luckily I ended up today, but yesterday was a prime example of it going wrong because I was up around 40, 50 points, and I ended up losing all of that in min sum because I kept trading, which I should not have done. But other than that, a little lesson there, That's my trade recap, January 16th. Hope you made money today. If you didn't, it is what it is. Next week will be your week. Don't overdo it on Friday though. Tomorrow, if you're up on the week, don't overdo it tomorrow. To be honest, I probably will, but I just make poor decisions. But I guess we'll see.